Hello, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle and triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. Let's jump right in. I always love it when I see my guests jamming in the background. It's just the best. Thank you for joining us today for this episode of Her Version. The Her Version platform is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from listening to other people's stories. Today, I am speaking with an amazing woman named Galit. Galit is a serial entrepreneur who dominates her industry. She is the co-founder of Everyday Woman, a 25-year broker slash owner of commercial professionals. She is a paid professional speaker. She coaches women to seven figures, is the author of Successful Woman's Mindset, founder of Everyday Woman TV, and received the award for Entrepreneur of the Year from Silver State Awards. Now, don't think that all of this was handed to Galit. From the age of 7 to 13, she struggled with speaking. She had lost her voice and was enrolled in speaking therapy and had to strain her voice to speak. As she grew up, she ended up in a male-dominated industry and has been dismissed dozens of times. The obstacles that she has overcome in her personal and business life could have deterred her from progressing, but she never let up. Galit is here today to talk about dominating in an industry despite any setbacks that come your way. Welcome, lady. I reading off your intro and knowing all of the things that you have done and all of the things that you have come into you in the future, a lot of times individuals can look at you and just think you are where you are and good for you. But I like to notate that it didn't happen just within the blink of an eye. There was steps that kind of went along with you going from 20 years old to where you are now. Could you maybe give us an oversight of maybe like 3 steps that you took or more to get from mentally, emotionally, physically from here to where you are now? Because it's not
Absolutely.
just
I had a very successful, let's say successful, appreciative work ethic from a very young age. I got my first job at an age where you had to get your parents to sign a piece of paper to get you a worker's permit. I was 15 and a half. That was a choice. I didn't have to work. I was very thankful. My parents said, you don't need to work. I'm like, doesn't matter. I want to. So I would say the first thing that I would share with you to get to that mindset is you've got to first do something you love. And I'm going to come from a business perspective because my brain is always in the business end.
Yeah, mine
but
too.
You've got to do something you love, right? If you wake up every morning and you hate what you do, that's going to start your day off on the wrong foot. I do my best to love everything I choose to do. It's not humanly possible to love everything. Like I've got to pick up the dog poop after I get off this. It's just what it is. I got to do the dishes and I have to. If I don't do them, they're not going to get done. Yeah. But I do my best to do what I love every day, especially in my profession, which we spend a third of our life in at least. If you're an entrepreneur, you're spending way more than that. So that's the first thing I would do is say, love what you do. The second thing I would say is gratitude. I'm not who I was 30, 40 years ago. Okay. I'm going to be 50 this year. I am proud to say that. And I am not the same person I was 20 years ago. I didn't have the same patience that I have today. That's the number one thing I grew the most in. Having 3 little children under 7, I had my first at 24 years old. And you don't have the kind of patience. So I would highly recommend that you step back and you ask yourself, what am I thankful for? And there are days where you really need to search and you really need to dig. I know people that lost husbands during the crazy times, and they're young like me, and it can't be easy to find it.
Yeah.
But if what other choice do we have, especially in hard times? So the second thing I would say is wake up every morning and find at least 3 things to be grateful for that day. I don't care if it's the clouds in the sky. I live in a beautiful sunny state. Some people are in snow. Well, that's something to be grateful for. I don't like the cold. So I would absolutely suggest gratitude every single day. And the third thing that I would say, the third step would be you've got to work on your mind every day. What does that mean? For whatever reason, our minds are programmed to focus more on negative than positive. Mm-hmm. And I told you, I went and I got a master's degree in therapy. I even worked as a therapist for a while. And I learned so much about the models of therapy. And what I could share is if you work on those negative thoughts every single day with positive thoughts, they do go away, because mine are not there 95% of the time now. Yeah. And I'm more present, I'm more relaxed, I'm more calm because I work on it every single day.
Absolutely. What would you say to somebody who does aspire to be bigger than they are now, but are scared, nervous, timid? Yeah. What's the first, like, what do they do? Where do they start?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say, and this is not my tagline, it's Nike, so I'm giving them credit, is just do it. Now, that sounds way simpler, obviously, because Galit, it's not that simple. Either I don't know how. These are the things I hear a lot of. Okay, Sabrina, I don't know how. I'm terrified. What if I fail? Yeah. Those are the biggest 3 things that I hear from everybody. So what I could share with you is this. There are millions and millions and millions of people in this world that know how to do the things you don't know how to do that you might want to learn to do. Find them. That's the first thing. The second thing I would say is you've got to be surrounded by supportive people, because if people are not supporting you and you're terrified, it makes it even more challenging because they're questioning you and you're now going to agree. Oh, you're right. I shouldn't do this. So you've got to surround yourself with supportive people and you've got to start. And the last thing you need to do is just do one different thing this week. Add one thing to your list, just the smallest, littlest thing. Make one phone call, research online for that school you want to go to. Find that one person you want to be like and start following them on social media and watching their videos. There's so many things today. We live in a technology world. I come from a world where when I started in commercial real estate, there was no technology.
Yeah.
Today, everything is at your fingertips. Just be open and learn.
I love that you're talking about community and making sure who you're talking to and who you're kind of hanging around, because I honestly think that is one of the biggest things for me. I had to let go of a handful of relationships because they just weren't viewing life as big as I was viewing life. And I was finding myself having to downplay myself a lot and minimizing my wins because I didn't want to offend or I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I didn't want to look braggadocious. So, you know, I love that because you have to kind of level up. And it's not to say that you have to like drop all your friends. A lot of times they just kind of like find their own way out of your life slowly. But getting around people who get it, you know, who get it.
Yes.
Even just you saying like, hey, I'm going to answer this as a business. I'm going to answer this more of a bit because that's where your mindset is. So if you're in a position where you're like, hey, I want to like start doing this entrepreneurship, finding individuals like you who are consistently looking to grow and talk business and expand and build that empire. There's people like that at all levels. You know, just starting out, middle, you know, so getting around those people. And like you said, with Facebook and stuff, there's groups everywhere.
So I know you didn't set me up for a plug, but I'm going to share it anyways. Yeah. In March 2020, my business partner, Angela, and I, as everybody else, our businesses came to a halt. We had a little bit of free time. So we started Everyday Woman, and the name of the Facebook group is called Women Supporting Women Professionals and Entrepreneurs, and has over 13,000 members. And that is a group just like that. You come and we do speed networking events. We have so many things we do not charge for, that we wanted to build what Sabrina's talking about, because we felt like women, more than anything, in March 2020 were scrambling to figure out how they were going to support their families. How are they going to get clients for their businesses? And that was the key to that. So I love that you said that, even though I didn't ask you to. It was perfect.
Yes, absolutely. But that exactly. So connecting with you and then finding that Facebook group, immediately you're in and amongst all levels of females. Is it
Yes.
all females?
All females, only females.
Yeah, who are in the mindset of business. So linking up
Yes.
with people like that and sharing your thoughts, sharing your fears in a forum like that is where you want to be.
Yeah, and we wanted to build, what we love most about our group is, and we do these speed networking events once or twice a month where women get to break out and actually get to know each other. It's not just show up and listen to us talk. We talk for 3 minutes, because we found this world has become so small because of technology. Why not take advantage of it and get to know women from all walks of life? But our favorite thing that people say about our group is that it's so approachable, and any age, any backgrounds, any businesses, professionals, whatever you're in, it just works because we focus on being a woman and having a drive, and the rest is just what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. I love that.
Thank
What's
you.
the number one lesson you've learned about life?
The number one lesson I've learned about life is that I have a choice every day to choose to be happy, to choose to live my best life, and to not be my own, well, to not be my own limitation. So no limits, no limits, no limits.
When do
That's
you
my
think
biggest lesson.
when do you think you learned that lesson? Did you just learn that yesterday? Or have
Oh, no, no, not yesterday. Maybe the day before. No, I'm just kidding.
you-
I would probably say in some shape or form, I've been learning it my whole life, but I think I finally got it probably about 7 years ago. Like
Okay.
it just finally made sense, because I started my online business Empowering You about 5.5 years ago, and I was ready. It was like, I know I get this. I want now to show other women how to get it too.
Absolutely.